This week, I made these adorable rainy day body scrubs. They are foaming, they're made with sugar, they're so fluffy, they lather so much, and they have that like kinetic sand-like texture that I know a lot of you guys are looking for. Honestly, when I made this, I initially wanted it to just be like clouds in the sky, and then after I was done, I was like, this looks like stormy clouds. I should have made them white. So this is the rainy day scrub. Also, make sure you guys stick around until the end, and I will show you guys how I made these storm clouds as well. It's not part of the body scrub formula. It's a separate formula. Hey, what's up? My name is Tara, and I've been formulating cosmetics for probably a little over a decade now. I love sharing with you guys my creations. Go check out all my other past videos if you guys want to see all the other things I've made, but let's get into it. So I'm going to be making a 1,000 gram batch, and the first ingredient you need is 80 grams of SCI. This stands for sodium cocoyl isothianate. It's a really gentle foaming surfactant that helps cleanse the skin. And I'm going to pair that with this liquid surfactant called DLS, disodium lauryl sulfosinate. And this will help dissolve the SCI in with all of our other ingredients. And it also helps cleanse and lather the skin. Then I'm going to use an ingredient called stearic acid. Don't worry, it's not like an acid that'll burn your skin. It's a fatty acid, so it's moisturizing and it will help give structure to this fluffy scrub. Because essentially we're going to be making a foaming bath whip and then adding sugar to it. Then I'm going to use a combination of glycerin and sorbitol. I'm using liquid sorbitol, and sorbitol is known to help add structure to foaming bath whips and these foaming sugar scrubs, so that is why I am using it. It also helps hydrate the skin along with the glycerin. For the last ingredient, for the heated phase, I'm going to use 70 grams of distilled water. This is the diluent. And I'm going to show you guys how we bring all these together. There are some ingredients in the cool down phase, but we will talk about those when the time comes. Make sure you have a heat-safe, sanitized bowl, and go ahead and add in all of those ingredients we just talked about. Make sure you wear a respirator when working with SCI. I know sometimes it can sound scary working with an ingredient that isn't safe to breathe in, but I promise you it's a really gentle ingredient. It's commonly used in baby products. You just don't want to breathe it in. It's not safe inhaled, but it's totally safe once it's melted down and diluted and mixed with other ingredients. So make sure you're wearing your respirator the whole time you are working with this. Once you have everything combined, go ahead and mix it all together. And typically once you have the SCI powder mixed in with everything else like this, you are now safe to remove your respirator. I also like to keep a fan in the window to blow out any powder that might be in the air, and I end up keeping my respirator on for a little bit afterwards as well. I like to take extra precautions when it comes to my lungs. Anyway, create a water bath by taking a pan, filling it with a little bit of water. You don't want to fill it up too much to where it overflows, and then put your pan over your stovetop on about medium heat and place your bowl in the pan. And this is going to allow it to heat up without having direct heat on it. And this will help dissolve your SCI in with everything else and melt the stearic acid down. That is the goal we're trying to do here. So break up any chunks you might see in there, give it a mix while it heats, and eventually you'll be left with kind of like a thin like gel. You want something that looks like this. It won't be completely clear. Sometimes it'll go clear. Sometimes it'll look a little opaque like this. It just depends. Last time I made this, it went completely clear. Anyway, I recommend a stand mixer, but if you don't have one, you can totally do it by hand. But like, look at how long I'm whipping it. Like, you want to whip it for a while. You basically want to whip it the entire time it's cooling down. That's how I've noticed these foaming bath whips just turn out the best. I say foaming bath whip because essentially we're making a foaming bath whip and then adding sugar to it. I'll link down below to the exact mica powders I used. I always purchase my mica powders from madmicas.com. Also, don't throw in the mica powder while it's mixing like I just did here. I still had my respirator on, but it made the powder go everywhere, as you can see. So make sure you add the mica powder when it's turned off so it doesn't go everywhere like that. And yeah, you will need to scrape the sides as it's mixing. As you can tell, it's gotten super, super fluffy. You essentially end up with like a buttercream like icing texture. I mean, I don't bake, but I feel like that's the best way to describe it. And also, if you do use a KitchenAid or some kind of stand mixer, that can only be for formulating now. Don't clean it and then use it for cooking. Anyway, once it cools to around 100 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, you can add in your cool down ingredients. So I added in 5 grams of my preservative Liquid Dermal Plus and 20 grams of my fragrance oil. You can use whatever fragrance oil you want. I ended up using a coconut fragrance oil. And then after I made it, I was like, why didn't I make it like a fluffy blueberry scrub? Somebody commented that on my TikTok and I'm like, that would have been a good idea. Anyway, look at this. It's such like a fluffy cloud-like consistency. Should I make a bath whip next? Let me know if you guys want to see a bath whip formula next, because I've been doing a lot of foaming scrubs lately. This is how it should look. Beautiful, fluffy. You should want to eat it, but don't eat it because it's not safe. And yeah, I guess you can add the sugar here if you want, but I really like to let it cool down completely before adding in the sugar. So what I do is I cover it with plastic wrap and I just let it sit overnight. I'm always worried like if it's too hot that it could like melt the sugar in. Now the next day, as you can see, it kind of looks a little bit more condensed and compressed. I'd say it actually looks more like a buttercream icing here, actually. What we're going to be doing is now pouring in the sugar. And I recommend getting cane sugar. That sugar, in my opinion, is the best for whipped foaming sugar scrubs. In a lot of my past videos, I've used white granulated sugar. You want to look for a sugar that is more coarse. There's just something about like foaming sugar scrubs that if you use white granulated sugar, it's just not coarse enough. You don't get enough of a grit. So I personally recommend cane sugar. I'll link down below to all the ingredients I used along with the specific sugar that I used as well. And it might seem like a lot of sugar. We're using 70.5% sugar in this formula. Cane sugar is a bit darker than typical white granulated sugar. So I do recommend making your foam, the base of it, the foaming bath whip part, darker pigment than you really want in the end, because adding that cane sugar, you know, that adds a lot of other volume to it. So it makes it end up looking a little lighter, but also a tinge of like tan brown pigment to it. So using a like really vivid color like this blue works perfectly with this sugar. And look at this texture. It is just like a fluffy cloud. It'll stay like this, guys. You don't have to worry about it hardening up. It stays like this because I've made this formula before. I still have the scrubs from like 2 months ago and they're still the same consistency. Now, of course, this formula hasn't been tested to be sold. If you want to sell a formula like this, you need to do your own stability testing. You need to do your own like preservative testing. I'll link down below to a lab I recommend to do testing. They can do shelf life stability testing, microbial testing, test out your preservative to make sure it's strong enough, make sure you have good manufacturing practice. I'll link that down below along with all the equipment I used and all the ingredients down below. But yeah, this is my absolute all-time favorite foaming sugar scrub formula. I'm obsessed with it. And if you guys want to see me make more versions of it, let me know because I'm obsessed with it and I want to make more. This ended up filling about 5 8-ounce jars, in case you're wondering. Let's talk about how I made these clouds. These are what I call shaving bars. So a shaving bar it's what it sounds like. It's a bar that you use to shave. So all you need to do is wet your skin wherever you want to shave, of course, and then massage the wet shaving bar on that area of the skin until you have a good layer of the product on your skin. And you'll know you have a good layer because it will feel very soft and conditioned. This is essentially a hair conditioner bar. If you've ever used hair conditioner to shave and you're a fan of that, then you'll love these. So once you have a good layer on your skin, you just go ahead and shave. That's all you do. And then wash it off. And I just love adding these little embeds of shaving bars on top because shaving bars are my favorite form of like shaving products. And Now I get to add them on top of my scrubs. Body scrubs are just some of my favorite products, and so are shaving bars. So if you guys want to see more of these, let me know. And I definitely want to make another one with these clouds. Like, should I do like a sunset, pink, purple sky view? Or like maybe do, I guess I can do a foaming bath whip with these embeds on top too. I don't know, let me know what you guys want to see. I'll link down below to the exact cloud mold I used. The clouds ended up being a lot smaller than I was hoping, but that's okay. I ended up fitting 3 of them in each jar, and I think it looked really, really cute in the end. I know I should have made these clouds white, but you know what? It's springtime. It's been storming a lot here in Ohio, so this is my rainy day scrub. So for the shaving bars, I made a 200 gram batch, and for the heated phase, you're going to need 50 grams of BTMS 50. This is the conditioning agent, so this is essentially the main ingredient that's going to make it a shaving product. So you can't substitute this out. Then I'm using 60 grams of acetyl alcohol. This is just a hardener. So if you have something like cetyl alcohol or maybe even stearic acid, I honestly wouldn't recommend that one, but if you have it, you could try it. Then I'm using 35 grams of shea butter. You can use whatever butter you want. 29.6 grams of rice bran oil. You can substitute that out for a different oil if you want. And then 20 grams of coconut oil. Again, you can use a different oil if you want. And then I will have some ingredients in the cool down phase. So all you need to do is combine all of those ingredients together in a heat safe sanitized container, and then create a water bath again, like I mentioned at the beginning. Put it on medium heat and place your beaker in there to help everything melt. BTMS 50 can be a little stubborn when it comes to melting, so just be patient and mix it periodically. Then once everything is heated and melted, you can add in the cool down phase. Now you don't really have much time before this starts to harden, so go ahead and add in 0.4 grams of vitamin E and 4 grams of fragrance oil. And I added the mica powder into these ingredients as well and mix that in to dissolve it. Then just pour into your molds and let it sit overnight. And that is how you make the shaving bars. I hope you guys really enjoyed this formula. I think they turned out super cute. I know you guys love scrubs. Some of you guys are sick of me making scrubs all the time, but some of you guys just want more. So if you want something different, go over to my Patreon. I have all kinds of other videos over there, or you could go watch some of my past videos because I have a lot of past videos that I think are underrated, like my micellar water video. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Later, lab cats. Also, don't forget to go over and check out my Patreon, where I post 2 exclusive videos every single month. So there is a ton of videos you can go over and binge watch for only $5 a month. Also, if you don't have access to Patreon in your country, you can sign up as a YouTube member instead. If you sign up for the $10 tier on my Patreon, you get a shout out for your small business. I'll have all these brands linked below. naturesmagicllc.com. From Dusk Soapery on Etsy, LloydCandleCompany.com, HB Royal Retreat Store on Etsy, NaturesFarmGirl.com, Let's Blend LLC, at Stardust Bath and Body, HempyGirl.com, ShopLevi's.com, Owl and Lily over on Etsy, Skin Lounge Co. over on Etsy, BlackPetalBeauty.com, EmbraceBeautyEssentials.com, LegendaryBathandBody.com, AstariApothecary.com, Reviga Cosmetics here on YouTube, XoreBB.com, PardoNaturals.com, NaturalStateSkin.com, TheNatureInUs.ca, NearCatalier.com. Use the code on the screen for 20% off. EarthAndAmberNaturals.com, SharkCityNaturals.com, DayToRelaxProducts.shop, CrownedGloryLLC.com, LHScentedSoapsAndMore.com, JanaeRose.com, HealthNutBeauty on Etsy, VelvetTemptations.com, JourneyRoseBeauty.com, CHRBrands.com, Homestead Life Goods on Etsy, CanellaBathandBody.com, MadhouseMamaSoaps.com, XPO.com, Mystical Morning on Etsy, allthingsscent.net, snoota.square.site, 7th House and Oak on Etsy, and mycrownandglory.com. Thank you so much for you guys' support. Without you guys over on Patreon, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, so thank you so much.